Hello, and welcome to NVentures Regional Roundup for Latin America and the Caribbean for Q2 2024. I'm Jonathan Leather, and I'm the Associate Editor for NVentures for the region. And for the next few minutes, I'll give an overview of some of the recent activity that has taken place across the continent. Starting off with an overview of deal flow, and as can be seen from the map shown here, there has been significant transactional activity over the last 6 months. Activity, as perhaps might be expected, has been focused in a number of well-established areas, including the Gulf of Mexico, Colombia, the offshore Guyana and Suriname basins, and the South Atlantic coast stretching from Brazil down to the southern tip of Argentina. Deals have included the Wintershall Harbor Energy deal, which included licenses in Mexico and Argentina, the acquisition of Hess by Chevron in Guyana, and a number of licenses awarded in Uruguay in the first quarter of this year and across Brazil at the end of last year as part of the fourth cycle of permanent offers. When it comes to exploration drilling performance, historically the Gulf of Mexico, Colombia, Trinidad, Guyana, Suriname, and the Campos Santos basins in Brazil have been areas of focus, and activity has indeed continued in these areas over the last 12 months. There have been recent additional exploration successes in Colombia with Ecopetrol's offshore Orca Norte 1 well, in Guyana with Exxon's latest Bluefin and Hamari discoveries and recent confirmation of FID for the Whiptail development there, and in Suriname with Petronas's Roystonia 1 success. In Brazil, it is interesting to see activity extending beyond the prolific Campos and Santos basins, with Petrobras's Pituesta and Anhanga discoveries in the Potiguar Basin. Indeed, Petrobras has indicated its intention to invest heavily along the Brazilian equatorial margin, with 16 further wells planned by 2028. One area that has seen significant activity over the last 12 months is the region that stretches from the Pelotas Basin in Brazil through Uruguay and into the basins of northern Argentina. These basins form the conjugate margin to the Orange Basin in Namibia, so it's perhaps not surprising to see the influx of super majors chasing the same plays that have been so successful on the other side of the South Atlantic. Zooming into the different basins here, and in December of last year, 44 blocks were awarded in the Pelotas Basin of Brazil. The companies receiving awards included Petrobras, Shell, CNOOC, and Chevron, with signature bonuses exceeding $60 million and work program commitments close to $400 million. Significant activity can clearly be expected here in the coming years. In the Pelotas and Punta del Este basins of Uruguay, the entire available offshore acreage has now been licensed, with Shell, Apache, and YPF entering the country in 2022 and Challenger Energy confirming award of the final license in March of this year. Work commitments for the next 3 to 4 years include the acquisition of 3D seismic and in the Apache-operated OFF6 block, the drilling of an exploration well. Chevron have also now entered offshore Uruguay with a farming deal with Challenger announced in March that should lead to the drilling of a well in block OFF1 by 2027. Then moving further south along the margin into Argentina, plans for extensive 3D acquisition have been reported across many of the blocks, with Argentina's first deep-water well, the Ecuador-operated Agaric 1 well in block CAM 100, scheduled to be drilled in the coming months. This is targeting Cretaceous-aged reservoirs, and as an initial test of the Namibian conjugate, will no doubt be closely watched by operators and acreage holders across the region. Looking ahead more widely, there are numerous opportunities for growth and investment across the continent. This map highlights ongoing licensing rounds and active data rooms and farming opportunities that are held on the NVentures database. To highlight just a few, in the Caribbean there are ongoing shallow water licensing rounds in Trinidad and Suriname, as well as farming opportunities in Cuba with Melbana and Petroaustralis, and in Jamaica, where United Oil and Gas were recently awarded a 2-year license extension and are actively looking for partners. Across the rest of the South American continent, there are opportunities in numerous countries, including Peru, Colombia, Brazil, and Argentina. There is drilling activity coming up across the continent. In the NVenture monthly reports, and as shown on this map, key wells to watch are highlighted and geological context provided. I've already mentioned the upcoming Agaric 1 well in northern Argentina, but 2 other key wells that are likely to spud in the coming months include Oxy's Komodo well offshore Colombia, an ultra-deep-water well targeting Neogene reservoirs, and BP's Po well in Brazil, targeting the pre-salt in the deep-water Santos Basin. So there's clearly lots of exciting activity taking place across the South American continent, and with coverage of deals, drilling activity, bid rounds and opportunities, all with detailed geotechnical analysis, NVentures Latin American and Caribbean service is a great place to keep track of this activity and gain fresh insights into what will be shaping the industry in the region. NVentures also manages the Earthmove's GIS datasets, and all of our products are delivered online with simple, easy-to-use GIS tools. For more information, don't hesitate to get in touch, either through myself or through Peter Elliott or Ian Blakely, whose contact details are provided here. So many thanks for your time. Please keep an eye out for the next NVentures Regional Roundup, which should be coming out very soon.